If you want topics of conversation, you can just talk about the shit that happens to me in my daily life.
I think that's why you're co-host, is because you just have like wild shit that happens to you daily.
It's so stupid how just random shit that doesn't need to happen just happens to me.
Shit that happens to you is like did anyone see that kind of shit?
I was telling my family yesterday at brunch about one time I was at work, and in our back area, like our break area, there's like stools and a little table. So there's at least like 3 stools, a chair, we have a step ladder, and we have a normal ladder.
Step ladder.
Anyways, so I'm like one of the only people back there. I'm sitting on a stool, and there's like plenty of other chairs and stools and ladders nearby. My coworker needed, I'm a hairdresser, so my coworker needed a color tube from like way up top, and she's like 5'2". So instead of just grabbing like the step ladder or any other chair around her, she grabs the one I'm physically sitting on it, pulls it out from under me, and says, "I need to borrow this." Not even like a
hey, can I use that?
Yeah, like didn't even ask. Was just like
mine.
Literally just, I need this, and I was like, "There's no way that just fucking happened." Like, what? And I was telling my family about it, and they're like, "Why does that happen to you, of all people?"
I feel like you've been getting punked for the past like 20-ish years.
Seriously.
Really, like the last 5, because it's just whack shit that happens.
It's like ridiculous, like the things that happen to me.
What else weird shit happens to you?
Well, one time I went. This was for Mother's Day. I went to McCooney's with my sisters and my mom. I need to put this.
D&D.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
So I went to McCooney's for Mother's Day with my mom, and my sister texted me before we went. She was like, "Can somebody bring a pen?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can." And of course, I'm flustered before leaving the house, so I don't grab a pen. It was like the last thing on my mind. And I get to the restaurant, and I'm like, "Ah, shit, I forgot to grab a pen." And so you think of restaurants, servers and hostesses have pens. So I was like, okay. So my mom goes to sit down. I go ask the host. I was like, "Hey, do you have a pen I can borrow?" And I'm not like maliciously thinking like, I'm going to keep this pen. I'm never going to give it back. So I get the pen from her, and I go and I sign the card, and I put the card next to me in the booth. And then I just happen to set the pen down on top of my purse, which is next to me in the booth. But then Lakin, my sister, comes in with the baby, her daughter. So I move the purse down to the floor. Pen is still in it, and I scoot over. Towards the very end of lunch, we were like getting ready to leave or whatever. The hostess comes over, and she goes, "Can we have our pen back? You kind of stole it." And of course, like, it's, by the time that my purse gets moved and everything, the pen is not at the top of it.
You got rummage for it.
So it falls down. And then it's also underneath the table, and I'm wedged in between my sister with the baby and me in, like, the inner of the table booth, whatever. And so I'm like trying to get my bag out. I'm like, oh my god. And so I can't get the bag out. My family's laughing at me.
They're like hovering over you.
And they're like not making it any better, because they're sitting there laughing at me, and they're like, "Zoe, why would you steal her pen?" And I'm like, "I didn't steal her pen." I'm like, "I borrowed it." And the girl's just like sitting there staring at me. I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. So finally I get the purse up, and then I can't find it. So I'm like rummaging through my purse to get the freaking pen out. And I give it back, and they all just sit there, start laughing at me. And they're like, "Why did you steal the pen?" And I'm like, "I borrowed the pen. I didn't steal it." I'm like, I didn't think that, they were going to need that one singular pen.
I feel like in that industry, pens are stolen all the time.
I mean, yeah, but like, I feel like when I don't know.
Roast the shit out of you. You don't like it?
I mean, it's annoying. My family picks on me, but the pen thing just really set me over the edge.
It's just like the random person in society just absolutely being a goblin to you is the funny part.
And it's like, I don't know. It was just weird. But like shit like that, like I get, if they don't have enough pens, like they want their pen back. It's just the way that she
It'd be one thing to be like, "Oh, can I steal my pen?" Like jokingly, whatever.
Like, hey.
I'm like, hey, you fucking stole my pen.
Yeah, she made
Give
it
it
seem like
back.
I just like ripped it off the counter and ran away with it. Like, no, I had asked. I literally said, "Can I borrow a pen?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I just didn't think anything of it, thinking like, "Oh, they probably have plenty of pens."
So now you're banned from that McConey's?
I should be, honestly.
Banned from society.
I just need to never leave my house again.
What else? You got any crazy stories about, like, clients at work? It's like most of our conversations is you complaining about.
I could talk about my crazy coworker that used to work there.
Sure.
There's not much to it, really. There was a coworker that used to work there that cussed out me, another one of my coworkers, twice. She cussed out both of us twice. She's yelled at clients. She's just crazy.
So friendly.
Yeah, she was an awful coworker.